Hello, my summer reading program friends. It's Brooke here from the library, and I'm back for Think and Tinker, which is our last session for the week. So today I have two things planned for you guys, and they both have to do with things in space and the stars specifically. So we're going to look at constellations. So constellations are like stars that are in an outline or a pattern that represent like an animal or Greek mythology. So I have a few printouts in your guys' folders. So there's 3 of those, and then there's also some pipe cleaners and some beads. So that's what you'll need today. And we're going to get started. We're going to get right into it because it's not too hard, but it'll be something that's cool and you can do over and over again because there is quite a few printouts on here so that you can do the activities over and over again. So let's get started. So the first activity that I chose to do today was just poking holes through the large print constellations in your guys' folders. So they're double-sided, so unfortunately you're just gonna have to choose between them. So I did Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia is 2 ways to pronounce it. So I did this one, and I did this one with scissors, which I do not recommend because scissors can be pointy, and it didn't really make the best round hole for when I shone my flashlight through it. So I suggest either using a pen or a pencil because it's not going to be very sharp, or a leftover skewer that you have because you want the holes to be as precise as possible. So I'm going to do the other side of this printout and just show you guys. So I want to make sure that everybody knows that you have to be careful when you're poking holes through here. So please ask your adult and see what the rules are in your house, and if the adult needs to help you, which is no problem, they just don't want you to get hurt. So what I did last time was I just grabbed the paper like this and I just tried to poke it through initially first a little bit, and then I could gradually make the hole bigger. So then it makes a pretty nice outline. So just get the hole started and then make sure it hits the ground, hits the table that you're using, and then you can gradually make it bigger. Now you'll notice that some of these stars are bigger than others, so maybe that means you can make the hole a little bit bigger. Okay, so now that you've poked holes in all of the stars that you have on this printout, you can take a phone, an iPad, or a flashlight to shine it up against the wall through the paper in the darkness, and you'll be able to see how the constellation would look as if it were in the sky. So I have a picture that I'm going to show you right at the end of me doing it, and then you'll get a better idea of it. But just make sure the rounder your holes are, the better it's going to look, because the picture that I am going to show you right now, it doesn't have very straight and circular and uniform holes through it. So that's the end of this task. You guys can use these ones as well. These ones I put in there just for more stuff that you can look through in order to make the second task. But there's no reason why you can't poke holes through these ones as well, because some of these are more complicated than this one. So I hope you guys have fun with this first task, and then let's move on to the second one. The second activity I have planned today is I put a pipe cleaner and some beads, a few pipe cleaners and beads in your guys' craft bags, and I thought that making these constellations would be a fun activity. So I made a few of them here. So the Ursa Major and the Ursa Minor, which is in the north of the world. So this is a nice printout because it shows a few of them. And then, so I made a few already. And this one, I like this one because these are like all the horoscopes, meaning they show what, like, everybody, wherever you're born in the year, you'll have one of these. So I'm born in December, so I'm a Sagittarius. So that could be something that I could try to make, which would be a little bit more complicated for this video. So maybe I'm going to try something a little bit better, like the Gemini one. So I'll do the Gemini one. But both of these printouts are just ideas that you can do so that you can get good at this, and then you can take them apart once you've done it. But I'm going to do the Gemini one. So basically, I would suggest that you kind of bend your pipe cleaner, give or take how it should look. Because then once you put your beads on, you'll kind of know where they'll need to be bent. Also, you might not use all of the beads that you have, which are in all of the pipe cleaner length that you have, which is okay. I just wanted to give you guys enough so that you could try a few of them. So you can also count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also fold it so that it goes back through if you have enough. Okay, so we don't have enough, but that's okay. We can still... It's going to be a little bit tricky. You'll kind of have to see how to bend them, because that might be a little bit harder. But basically it should look something like that. So here's Gemini, and here's the constellation that I made. It's not going to be perfect, but it will still look very similar to which one you were trying to achieve. Like this one is the Cassiopeia or Cassiopeia. So yeah, you guys can play around with that, and I hope you guys are learning which constellation is your birthday and which one you liked doing the best. So I'll see you guys back at our usual spot in the library. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this week's Think and Tinker. I hope you guys had fun with that and you discovered a little bit more about what those stars are all about in the sky. So this week's video code for Think and Tinker is lodestar. Lodestar. So a lodestar is any star that gives direction. So in the Northern Hemisphere, which is Canada, the lodestar is called the North Star. And one thing I wanted to bring up was make sure you ask your adult in your house which horoscope is yours, because then you'll be able to know which one you should make that will represent you, because everybody will have one. So make sure you ask your adult that, and I hope you guys had fun with this, and I'll see you guys next week for another week of action-packed fun.